Hey rockers, ever felt that shock, that electric punch when drums hit and your whole body just reacts? Some intros don't just start a song, they ignite an era. Today we're diving deep into the beating heart of rock and roll, 13 classic drum intros that hit like thunder. From wild double-kick madness to stadium-shaking stomp anthems, these rhythms didn't just move the crowd, they defined generations. Each beat you're about to hear is pure power, energetic, and unforgettable. So grab your imaginary drumsticks, turn that volume all the way to 11, and let's feel the thunder roll together. Number 1, Hot for Teacher, Van Halen. A mesmerizing display of virtuosity and sheer talent, Alex Van Halen's drum intro in Hot for Teacher, released by Van Halen in 1984, is fast and heavy as a stampede of wild animals in the open prairie. The fast double bass drum pattern and the halftime shuffle played on top are so unique and personal that they draw people in by the thousands. Hot for Teacher shows Van Halen at its best. Together, they created a new sound and a new musical world, a place where exceptional drumming like this could exist. Van Halen is a shot of adrenaline straight to the heart. You'll love the wild electricity of the second. Number 2, Fireball, Deep Purple. Fireball by Deep Purple, released in 1971, is like a locomotive coming your way at full speed. The fast, heavy-handed drumming is era-defining. The drumming in Fireball is bold, ferocious, and it drives the band forward at a mad speed. The crushing rhythm kickstarts this track, but also defined the record and the decade. Ian Paice wasn't just drumming for the song, he was creating a new musical style. By chasing the sounds in his head, he ended up influencing an entire generation, which holds him as a legend today. The electricity is in the air after hearing something as powerful as Fireball. The next song will take it up another notch. Number 3, Grand Funk Railroad. We're an American band. A timeless beat, a huge song, and an everlasting legacy. We're an American Band by Grand Funk Railroad isn't just a tune, it's future being written. The cowbell sound shakes like a rattling snake and is an invitation to move. We're an American Band was written and sung by Don Brewer, the band's drummer and main composer. Together with the record's producer, they went through half a dozen cowbells to find the right one. Once they did, they knew they were making history. Don Brewer wrote this song in a rush of inspiration and knew it was important right away. Fans around the world have been confirming it for the past 50 years. Pure talent shines through, regardless of the genre and the decade. The next is a song that could belong to any era of music. Number 4, We Will Rock You, Queen. The most epic beat in rock history didn't even need a drum kit. We Will Rock You by Queen was released in 1977, and its stomp-stomp clap pattern hit the world hard like a tidal wave. Queen created one of rock's most monumental tunes using just their bodies and a guitar. Although not everybody knows this, besides Brian May's guitar solo, the entire song is a cappella with only stomps and claps behind. Played at sports events tirelessly around the world, this beat is embedded in the DNA of several generations. It's very hard not to tag along the moment you hear it playing. Creating music out of high hopes and thin air was Queen's legacy to the world. The next is a statement in the beginning of a new era. Number 5, Wipeout, the Surfaris. The eternal drumroll that became the soundtrack of an era. Wipeout, released by the Surfaris in 1963, sounds savage like wild horses galloping to the horizon over an empty shore. But can an infinite drumroll be the spine of a radio hit? This tune, originally written by Jim Fuller, Bob Berryhill, Pat Connolly, and Ron Wilson, took over the radios like a tsunami and reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 list. With Ron Wilson's relentless beating of the snare, the melody of the reverb-soaked guitars, and the tight bass licks, Wipeout sounds effortless, like a natural hit. It still makes people laugh, dance, and shout to this day. Doesn't surf music just transport you to the sunny shores of California? Well, prog rock anthems are an endangered species, and the one coming is one of the best ever. Number 6, Stargazer, Rainbow. An epic rock and roll tale driven by a monstrous drumbeat, Stargazer by Rainbow was released in 1976. It starts with the drums hitting mercilessly like a jackhammer. Ritchie Blackmore's distorted, heavy-riffing guitar sits perfectly on the groove. Singer Ronnie James Dio shows his full range in a once-in-a-lifetime performance, and the 40-piece orchestra just reaches for your heart. But the whole tune is mounted on ambitious, relentless drumming that drives the band forward no matter what. See the figure of the wizard as he climbs to the... Fun fact, it was written on a cello by Blackmore. This 8+ minute song is Rainbow at its best, moving hearts and opening minds. Let's pause. I want to know about you. Do you remember where you were when you heard them for the first time? Tell us the full story in the comments. Number 7, the spirit of radio, Rush. The brutal show of virtuosity and power driving a radio hit to the charts. The spirit of radio is a statement by prog rock gods Rush, and it hits like a thunderstorm. Neil Peart showed off with a legendary drumming sequence that grows with the song. The explosive chorus, reggae-influenced break, and sudden rhythmic changes make it complex. Yet the irresistible melody and catchy lyrics take you back to beautiful times when radio was king and music was all. Words of the prophets were written on the studio wall. Intricate and powerful, this drum intro by Neil Peart is the perfect proof of musical proficiency not being in the way of feelings. Rush knows the power of rhythm, and this song makes it clear. There was a time when you could dial happiness and travel through music. The next is so supercharged and heavy you'll have a hard time air drumming to it. Number 8, Painkiller, Judas Priest. Painkiller explored the limits of drumming and shook the world. This song by Judas Priest, released in 1990, takes off with a fire-breathing drum intro that pushes the band forward like engines going off at Cape Canaveral. The unapologetic, fierce drumming by Scott Travis was a happy studio accident. The drummer was warming up as the crew was setting up the microphones and sound checking. Once he was done playing, they knew they had captured gold on tape. Painkiller is one of the most important songs on every Judas Priest show since it was released. It still drives crowds mad with its thunderous, brutal display of power. What an adrenaline kick last song was. The next is a timeless classic I'm sure you know the lyrics to. Number 9, Sunday Bloody Sunday, U2. A band marching into the future, talking to a generation with an open heart. Sunday Bloody Sunday, released by U2 in 1983, shows Larry Mullen Jr.'s powerful beat hitting hard like a hammer and pulling you in from moment zero. This is a peace tune from their album War. It blossoms from a military-like continuous drum roll. The band and producer Steve Lillywhite recorded it in a staircase of their Dublin studio to get the natural echo. It grew more menacing. The Edge's guitar playing and Bono's emotion-driven singing are enough to transform the martial rhythm into a hymn that found its way into the hearts of millions. That was such a heartfelt performance by a band ready to change the world. The next one attempted the same, but from the heart of New York City. Number 10, Walk This Way, Aerosmith. Some can predict the future, but this drum beat designed it. Walk This Way, originally released by Aerosmith in 1975, sounds like the future. It's so simple it hits like heavy machinery. Some pieces of music are so ahead of their time that they become timeless. The snare and hi-hat intro for Walk This Way has a physical effect on you, transcending time, scenes, and musical styles. This tune was a rap club classic long before the band knew about it. This song is a great example of how 2 bars of great drumming are enough to make music history. I was a high school loser, never made it with the ladies, and the balls on myself and I missed. But I'm rich, don't live. 2 bars of straight drumming caused a revolution. The next band became revolution specialists during their heydays. Number 11, Time, Pink Floyd. A drumming masterclass about coping with the passage of time. Time by Pink Floyd was released in 1972 and features an exquisite drum intro by Nick Mason that hits hard like a hammer, but with surgical precision. This was the last song in which all of Pink Floyd's original members received songwriting credits. The layered instruments and impeccable interplay show the band at its all-time creative peak. Roger Waters takes on a sensitive topic that's as intimate as universal, and that still speaks to generations. I'm racing around to come up behind you again. Not all great drum intros need grandiloquence and fireworks. Precision and good taste can pass the test of time, too. And you run to catch up with the sun, but it's drumming like an art form is what Nick Mason did all his career. The next is one of the greatest drummers of all time's most iconic intro. Number 12, When the Levee Breaks, Led Zeppelin. The heaviest hitting drummer of his generation and the largest drum sound in history, When the Levee Breaks, recorded by Led Zeppelin in 1971, is mid-tempo minimalism that sounds as heavy as an earthquake breaking the floor in two. John Bonham recorded the drums at the Headley Grand Stairway with microphones 3 stories up. His majestic beat is amplified naturally and then processed with an echo unit. The resulting sound is big enough to drive Zeppelin's raw power into pure rock and roll. Many drummers grew up trying to copy John Bonham's style. Most got started right here, mimicking one of the most amazing drum intros in music history. Going down, going John Bonham's drumming always sounds huge and outstanding, but can it get any more epic? The last song on this list might answer that for you. Number 13, Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen. When unpretentious meets epic, the result is usually glorious. Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen's definitive hit from 1984, starts with a beat that sounds like the clap of a million hands. Drummer Max Weinberg keeps the melody anchored for this working-class anthem. The boss was about to become the singing voice for those who struggled in the land of the free. He would do it with this track, a hymn for all who need to take shelter in music. Born in the USA is more than a song. It's the battle cry of a generation. It put many fans through the toughest moments of their lives and still moves crowds by the thousands today. What an electricity shot! From the anthemic beat behind Springsteen to the ferocious banging of Judas Priest, these drummers made history. Like, subscribe, and click the bell. Join us in this growing community. We have fun, learn, and share music straight from its golden age.